All right, welcome back to another filming locations video. I'm super excited to do this video because I grew up on this movie myself. This is the filming locations video for the movie Ernest Goes to Camp. But if you're an Ernest fan, you're gonna love this video. I'm only going to two places. I'm going to Camp Kikiki and I'm going to one other place, so stay tuned. Let's go check out Camp Kikiki. And I'm more than prepared because I have a Camp Kikiki shirt on. So let's get into this awesome filming locations video and let's go check out Camp Kikiki. So in the beginning, when we see Ernest on the golf cart, nurse's station is right here. He gets on the golf cart and he goes right through here. And keep in mind, over here, they set up fake buildings later to be bulldozed in the movie, and the Camp Kikiki sign would have been right here. Does this shot look familiar? This is towards the beginning of the movie where Ernest rolls up on his golf cart and he gets the plunger. Filmed right here inside of this little cabin. Now, unfortunately, it has been changed over the years. The door was slightly to the left, I believe. To the right, I'm not sure, but it has been changed. And you can tell because this cement slab right here has been added on. It's a lot newer than right there. So when all the campers are on the bus, this is where they would be rolling in at. They'd be coming down through here. The bus would stop and walk this way. Does this look familiar? This would be the dining hall along with the kitchen. But in the beginning of the movie, this is where they stood at. And there would have been a welcome to Camp Kikiki sign right about here. And there must have been a crane shot overlooking all the kids and the counselors right about there. I know it doesn't give much of a perspective, but this is where all the kids would have gathered right here in front of this little step. And it's actually probably a good 3.5 feet, maybe. So there would have been a flag on that pole. And here is the dining hall. Guys, I'm inside the dining area. This is freaking sweet. So this is inside the dining hall area. How cool is this? So in the movie, these tables and benches would have been used by the kids having their breakfast, lunch, and dinner maybe. Maybe the fireplace would have been going. I'm not sure. But this is inside. Check this out. We're gonna turn around and get a better view of what it looked like. This would have been the view from the movie. That's the table right there that the kids were sitting at when the second chancers came up and started bullying them. And then over here is where the kitchen is, right there. And Ernest comes out, tries to stop the fight and says, "What do you think you're doing?" And then they hit him with the trays, and then Ernest gets smacked in the face and his face gets stuck. Classic. All right, so here it is, the famous kitchen with the eggs erroneous scene. As you can tell, it still looks the same kind of. It looks like it's been repainted. When Ernest gets fed the eggs erroneous, he walks right over here. Well, runs technically, right out of that door right there runs down the steps. All right, so this building here would be the counselor's headquarters, and I will go around and show you where the counselors were talking about going to get the second chancers, making Ernest go get the second chance kids in the bus. Actually, I'm going to try and show you guys from this point of view, because on the other side I don't want to reverse the shot. So I don't know how well you're going to be able to see in there, but that is where the counselors talked about going to get the second chancers. And I don't know if you could tell, but there's a pole right there going up, and that window right there is where Ernest was trying to put glass in, a sheet of glass, and he ended up falling backwards and breaking it. And then you see the go-kart go behind him all by itself. Yeah, so right here Ernest would have been putting a window in, probably somewhere within right here. Yeah, there's a little bit better of a shot. I know this is from the opposite side, but there's a pole right here. The desk would have been right about here. And if I turned around, Ernest would have fell right about here. And then the golf cart just going by itself. So we all remember the scene where Ernest tries to cook the chicken on the fire, and then it just gets all screwed up. But this is the area right here where that was filmed. Now these docks were once put together, but a storm took it out a few years ago, and the docks still remain partially, and I was able to walk out on one side of the dock and look down to the side of the river, and then look through the other side. So this is the other dock right here, just across from the other one. Like I said, a few years back, a storm took out this dock, and they were able to salvage the two docks that you see. And this is the dock that Ernest was on, actually, where he was fixing the lifeguard stand, and Nurse St. Cloud comes up and starts talking to him. I believe it was time for him to get his shot, but this is the view from the other dock. Now that dock used to connect right there. So this is outside of the cabin where Ernest comes up and the boys are playing poker, and he ends up losing. And one way you can tell is this crack right here is in the same shot. And then he ends up walking right out through here, and he's like, I can pay you $30 a paycheck for the next 40 years. This is inside of one of the cabins, which I believe towards the end of the movie, where Ernest was packing up and he had his turtle incident, I believe. And here's the nurse's cabin. This is the nurse's cabin from the movie. I'm inside of it. Right here is where Ernest would have came after he got poison ivy, and the boys bring him the poison ivy, and then the hallway right there where he walks out of it and starts singing, I'm awfully glad it's raining. So this is really awesome. This is inside the nurse's cabin, which multiple scenes have been filmed in here. The scene where Ernest gets his shot, and then the scene where he's laid up, and the boys bring him poison ivy as a gift. And then he says, those boys mean everything to me. And we all remember the scene where he walks out and starts singing, gee, I'm glad it's raining. There's always something to be thankful for. All right, so towards the end of the movie, when Ernest has his standoff with the guy in the rifle, Ernest would have been right about there. And he's pretty much like playing chicken in the grass. The guy would have drove up through there and had there was dump trucks and a whole bunch of stuff. Like I said, right over there, there was some facade buildings that were built just for the movie to be destroyed later on, along with the Coke machine. Why the Coke machine? But I believe over there in the woods is where they would have had some stuff being thrown at the construction guys. Yeah, right here in this very field where all of that took place, including the turtles, the parachute turtles. Woo! Yeah. All right, so that's it for Camp Kikiki. I have one other location to take you to. I gotta drive back down to Nashville. Hopefully I can find it. Hopefully it still looks the same. So it was fun. We're at Montgomery Bell State Park, if anyone is concerned or curious, I mean. So yeah, one more location. Let's go. Okay, so we're at the second location for Ernest Goes to Camp. It might look familiar to you. It's at the Water Authority of Dixon County, I believe. And if you notice, right behind me, does that look familiar? This is the detention center that was in Ernest Goes to Camp, where he comes with the bus and he picks up the second chancers. So that movie was made well over 30 years ago, and clearly a lot has changed since then. So let's take a closer look and see what all has changed since then. All right, so in the movie, the bus would have pulled up right through here, stopped, and it looks like this has been added on. Maybe the doors are the same, I don't know. A lot of it's been taken down, but one way you can definitely tell this is the same entrance. This blue house way off in the distance, still the same. One of the great things of being a YouTuber, you pick out every little detail that you possibly can to add up the shot. So this is where Ernest comes to pick up the kids, the second chancers. They would have all lined up probably right about here. And if you look, a lot of it has changed. There's no more big brick building anymore. It's right off one of the main roads. All right, that is a wrap on the filming locations for the movie Ernest Goes to Camp. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make. I've been down here in Nashville for a couple days. This has been the highlight of my trip so far. If you're an Ernest fan, you'll know exactly everything that I saw you. I loved it. It was so much fun. I've done a lot of filming location videos in my time, but this one is definitely by far the funnest one I've ever done. Getting access inside the cabins and seeing it 30 years later, definitely crazy to see. Yeah, Camp Kikiki, the Boys Detention Center. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. I will appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next filming locations video. So stay tuned. Peace out. So inside the visitor center, they have props and stuff from the movie. Let's go check it out. So inside the visitor center, they have a glass case up against the wall that has all kinds of stuff from the movie. We see books signed by Jim Varney. We see one of his hats, the famous Ernest hats, Camp Kikiki's shirt, the tray table that they hit him in the face with, an awesome Ernest doll that I really wish I'd have. Yeah, there's a Camp Kikiki shirt, one of the original ones, and the plunger from the beginning of the movie. How cool is this? Copy of the DVD, and apparently the fox and the squirrel made an appearance in the movie too. That's pretty cool. Posters on the wall, and of course they have it playing right above you.